What is up, guys? This is Passport Graffiti back again with another video, and today's topic is going to be why I moved to Medellin, Colombia. So before I get into it, if you guys can, please do me a favor. I would greatly appreciate it if you can subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, as this does help with this channel and the algorithm on YouTube. So with that being said, let's get into it. So in December of 2022, I first came to Medellin, Colombia with a friend for 5 days. And in that 5 days, I definitely enjoyed everything that Medellin had to offer as far as things to do, the people, the climate, the views, everything. Now, going into 2023, I decided after my trip to Medellin that I did want to learn Spanish. And after doing some research, I decided, hey, I think I want to try to do the immersion route more so than just doing classes back in the United States. So I had a choice. I picked either, or I would say I narrowed down my options to two choices, either Medellin, Colombia or Buenos Aires, Argentina. After doing some research, I realized that Argentina wasn't going to really be a good fit for me. The main reason being is because it's definitely more of a nocturnal culture there. And also, I heard that the Colombian accent was a lot more easier to kind of digest and learn. Also, me being from Miami with work and business, it was much easier to make a 3-hour flight and still be on the same time zone as the East Coast versus going to Argentina, and it's a 7-hour flight and the time difference. So ultimately, this is why I picked Medellin. Now, I first came here for a month, and I wanted to take some Spanish classes and see how it would be to live here for a month. And within that month, I took classes every day for 2 hours, and then as well did some Duolingo and Babbel and apps like that to help when I wasn't in class, as well as just learning by being here every day. So in that month, I realized that, hey, it is definitely possible to live here with very limited Spanish. You can still get around, you can still have somewhat of a social life, you can still date, you can still do all the normal things I would do back home. Granted, it is very important that you get as fluent as possible in Spanish, but it is definitely possible to live here with very little to limited Spanish. I'm not going to say no Spanish, but it definitely is possible to live here with limited Spanish and, like I said, still enjoy life, date, and do everything else you normally would back in the States. So after that month here, I then went back to the United States and was like, man, I really enjoyed that month that I was in Medellin, and I definitely want to go back again. So a few months later, I decided, hey, I'm going to go back again for another month. Being able to work remotely, it allowed me to be able to have some flexibility. So I came back for another month, and this month I wanted to not take any Spanish classes, but just see how it was to live here for a month and what a normal routine would be for me. So in my second month here, that's what I did. Definitely enjoyed myself, learned a lot more about the culture, the city of Medellin, and I did a lot more things as far as tours and stuff like that. So after I went back after that month, back to the United States, I would say at this point, my second month of coming here was more so when I started to really consider moving to Medellin for I would say for a much longer period of time. Initially, it started off me wanting to do a student visa and just stay for a year, and gradually I thought to myself, hey, you know what, actually I really do enjoy life there. It's much more simpler. You don't have all the BS that you have to deal with back at least in the United States, as far as people being fake and everything that you have to deal with when it comes to dating. Now, women and dating isn't the only reason I moved here. I do love the people, Colombian people. I do love the weather. I love the food. I love the climate. I love the views. There's so much more to Medellin than just women. And if anyone is thinking about primarily moving here, only because of that, you definitely are, I would say, selling yourself short. Now, going into the end of 2023, I would say going into October, I started to make plans as far as to sell my car and to start getting rid of things, to consolidate, to then get ready to make the transition to move to Medellin in the beginning of 2024. Now, I have some friends here, and I really did want to go to the Karol G concert that they had in 2023 in December. So I told myself, hey, if it's possible for me to get tickets to this concert, that I would just move early. So it ended up happening. I guess you can call it fate or the universe making things happen, but I end up being able to get tickets to the Karol G concert. So basically, I packed up everything. I sold my car and basically just moved to Medellin. Now, at this point, this would be going into my third month, going from November to December. And I didn't file for the extension to get the extra 3 months, so it meant that I would have to do basically what is called like a visa reset, which means you would have to leave the country until January 1st and then come back. So towards the end of the month, I think I had until the 27th or 28th of December to be here. So I ended up going to Panama and then ended up coming back to Medellin on the 1st, and now I am in the process of getting my nomad visa process. And by the way, if anyone is interested in what that process is like, definitely leave a comment or send me an email or something, and I will reach out to you and answer that question, or I can just do a video. You guys let me know and I can tell you exactly what the process is for getting your new nomad visa and what are all the requirements. I definitely can't say, I believe when I last talked to my lawyer, she did say that all visas are 1 year now. It used to be if you had an investment visa, it would be, I believe, a minimum of 2 years. But now investment visas, nomad visas, and I believe those are the main ones. Those are the ones that all just have 1 year. I'm not sure about fiance visa or any others, but I do have a good lawyer that I can recommend, or if you guys are interested in me making a video, I can get all that information and put that in another video for you. But ultimately, just to summarize, the main reasons I moved to Colombia was, one, primarily to learn Spanish. Two, the Colombian accent was, or Colombian Spanish was the most easiest to learn and to digest. And then aside from that, it was the people, the food, the views, the weather, just everything in general that Medellin and Colombia has to offer. Now, I would be lying if I say dating and Colombian women didn't have, I would say, a small part in the decision, because it did. But as I said in the beginning of this video, it wasn't the driving factor that moved me here. And I definitely will say this, that you do need a better why if you are coming to live here and you don't really know Spanish or you never really lived abroad, because just women alone isn't going to do it for you. At some point you're going to get bored with that, or that's going to get old, and then you're going to end up wanting to leave. So you definitely need a stronger why than just Colombian women alone. So, and there's a lot of little things that are cultural differences that definitely can annoy you when it comes to dating or just in general with Colombian culture. Off the top of my head, one can be that people are always late here. Being someone that I would say operates on white people time, or I'm always on time. And this can be very annoying in general, just dealing with Latin America in general, but more so just being here in Colombia, people are always late. If you're going on dates, women can be late, sometimes 30 to 40 to even an hour late, and that sometimes can be considered early to them. So aside from that, sometimes just, trying to get things done can take much longer here than it normally would maybe in your country, definitely in the United States. For example, if you're trying to buy property, you're trying to call real estate agents or realtors or agencies, and sometimes these people just won't pick up, or they won't call you back, they won't send you any information. This can be annoying. Something else I can think of off the top of my head is Amazon. If you're used to getting your 2-day deliveries, that's not a thing here. I would say the quickest maybe 6 to 7 days minimum. Also too, something that can be a little annoying here is clothes, cologne. I would say overall goods are definitely more expensive here. For example, shoes, regular Nike shoes. Here in Medellin, Colombia, or in Colombia in general, I'm guessing a big part of this has to do with the import charges or taxes. A regular pair of shoes here are anywhere between $200 to close to $230. A really nice, popular pair of Nikes or shoes can be close to $300. So you do definitely have to, go to either Panama or go to the U.S. to get your shoes and bring that stuff back, because it definitely can be very expensive here. As I said, most electronics are goods. That's from phones to computers, and also too, just some stuff is a lot harder to get here. One thing also that may be a turnoff for some people living here is service. Service isn't as good as it is in the United States or maybe Canada or UK or Europe. Just an example, sometimes when you ask for the bill, it may take them 5 to 10 minutes to even bring you the bill. Sometimes you got to hunt down the server or the waitress just to get your bill to pay. So some little things that can be a bit annoying, but as I said, you definitely need a bigger why than just women, because at some point that phase will pass, and if that's the only reason you moved here, you quickly will just be moving right back, either somewhere different or back from wherever you're from. So that's why I moved to Colombia. That's it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and until the next one, peace.